America's refusal to join the League of Nations. Woodrow Wilson was one of the big three seen here at the Peace Treaty of Versailles. He was the one of the three that was more open to German survival and to a strong Germany going forward. But one of his biggest aims at the meeting was to set up the League of Nations. Wilson saw this as vital, as the world could not slip into another global conflict, and the League of Nations was supposed to be a method by which countries would come together, talk openly, and would resolve differences by peaceful rather than violent means. The problem he faced was the troops' stories when they came home rapidly changed American public opinion. Most Americans now didn't want any entanglements in European affairs, not even meetings, not even small ones. They wanted to keep themselves to themselves. The Republican Party, which is the opposition to Wilson's Democrats, strongly opposed what Wilson had. One man in particular, Henry Cabot Lodge, said that the USA should never join the League of Nations, saying that why on earth would we get behind a conflict that has nothing to do with us? President Wilson decided he had to win the argument, so he went on an exhausting speaking tour via train across the entirety of the USA, trying to convince people that this was the right thing. He made many speeches and had many meetings. The pressure got to him, and while he was giving a speech in Colorado, he had a stroke the following day because of the pressure he was under. After his stroke, Wilson was a semi-invalid, but he'd lost the argument. In March of 1920, there were not enough votes in favour in the Senate, America's highest parliament, for the treaty to be formally ratified, i.e. passed. As the League of Nations was an integral part of the treaty, if you reject the treaty, you also reject the League of Nations. So even though it was Wilson's idea, America would not be in it. So what? Does it really matter? Well, to Wilson it did, because Warren Harding, who's this man, won the election with 61% of the vote, the largest majority ever at that time in American history. All he had really said in his campaign to be president was that he wanted America to become American. He doesn't want to be involved in things outside America. It's just what the people wanted to hear. The USA never joined the League. This is a problem for Europe, because maybe with America in the League, we'd have been able to control Hitler, Mussolini, etc. much better. Not until August 1921 did the USA officially declare the war with Germany to be over, but in reality it was. During the whole of the 1920s, American relations with most European countries weren't good. A lot of the victorious countries resented the fact that America had taken so long to come to their aid. During the war, even when they were neutral, US businesses had sold armaments and food to Britain and France. The USA was able to export to areas in the world controlled by these European countries. And by the end of the war, America had overtaken Germany in the supply of chemical products. US businesses also took the opportunity to develop new materials like plastic. The old European industrial nations took time in the 20s to refocus on international trade, and then, too late, found America had beaten them to it. So on the one hand, not joining the League of Nations was bad for the world. It meant peace was less likely to be achieved. But if America could focus on America, it proved you could do very, very well, very, very quickly.